Welcome to ACCA, or the Australian Centre for Contemporary Art. My name is Miles Russell Cook and I'm the Artistic Director and CEO. I'm so delighted to be here welcoming you to our brand new winter exhibition, 5 Acts of Love, that's been beautifully curated by guest curator Dr. Nur Shkembi, OAM. Through a range of mixed media artworks, this exhibition reminds us that love connects human beings and all people, and there's far more that connects us than there are things that divide us.
My name is Nur Shkembi. I'm an art historian and curator based here in Naarm, Melbourne. My specialty area of research is in contemporary Islamic art. I work a lot with artists from West Asia and diaspora artists here in Australia. So in this exhibition, 5 Acts of Love, there are multiple circular motifs and also a gentle play with light. And that's a way of bringing the artworks together and also to bring you to the artworks in their own right with their own narrative. The broader idea around 5 Acts of Love is to look at love beyond love. So beyond the way we might normally think about love. There are a number of archives in the exhibition that touch on family history and memory in the work of Larissa Sansor and Soren Lin, Ioannis Skas and Ali Tahayori. This has been an important connecting thread between the artworks, but also in understanding love as something that is enjoyed between communities and friends and a family. The work of Abdul-Rahman Abdullah is reflecting upon the family archive and memory and that type of love that is deeply felt between family and friends.
Pretty Beach is a meditation on the passing of my granddad back in 2009. At the front of his house, he had this really long jetty. One specific time where I really recall vividly standing out on the jetty, watching these stingrays swimming around and these really quite wild arcs and swells beneath me. That particular day, I just wanted to be with those stingrays as long as possible until the rain came in. There's also another work which is a new commission for this show specifically, and it's a wood carving of a Palestine mountain gazelle, and that work is called Witness. There are so many different ways of taking the idea of love. The way that these works respond to that are looking at grief, and grief for the individual, grief for the collective, grief for all of humanity in some sense.
There's a step away from earthly love in the work of Khaled Sabsabi, At the Speed of Light, and also Hussein Velamanesh's The Lover Circles His Own Heart.
As someone who's grown up with the Muslim religion and faith, it was very clear that there are beings of divine light, and they are what we say in Arabic as malak, or in English, angels. In this particular work, At the Speed of Light, I've had this question for a very long time. If we are to travel at the speed of light within this physical manifestation, would we be able to interact with these beings of light? So we already know what the speed of light travels at. So it is time and distance. So I worked out that I would need to record 13 plus days, which is 218 hours. I captured the video footage and then sped it up in various stages. And it worked out that there was 11 stages of acceleration. And the number 11 to me, it's an important number. It's the idea of the divine meets the creation. And it's symbolic of the artist meeting the object. Behind, there are 100 cells. So there's 25 frames in the 1 second. Times 4, you'll get the 100. The 99 refers to the divine, and then the 1 refers to you. If you look across all the different works, you can sense the idea of something between the thematic and also the curator, but also the art maker and their relationship to the idea of divine love.
In the work of Saadat Ismailova and Huda Afshar, we see the power of women coming together. There's a particular tension in the work of Saadat Ismailova between state ideology and traditional culture. And you can see in that film bringing that motif and imagery of women coming together as a form of resistance. And in Huda's work in particular, you can see the intimacy between the women braiding each other's hair. So also in the form of resistance, we have The Tide Waits for No One by Megan Cope. And this is a beautiful work of glass and sand that reflects upon the intricate relationships between place, environment, and identity. In conversation with Megan's work is Dee Harding's She Come From the Low Country, He Come From the High Country. In this new painting, Dee uses pigment sourced from the lands belonging to their grandparents to mediate on genealogy, culture, customs, and connection. In this work, another question arises for Dee, and that is, when are they going to get to write their own histories?
So my name is Eugenia Flynn and I'm based in Melbourne, Naarm. My work for 5 Acts of Love is called For Love of Country. It's a text work, one that is across 5 stanzas. Love can be quite destructive if it's a power that is wielded. The phrase for love of country is used in that patriotic sense. It is used to exclude people. I wanted to think about other forms of love. So I wrote about things like loving country in the sense that Aboriginal people think about what country is, loving country music, loving countrymen or our clan or our tribe, you know, moving from this kind of love that can be negative into something that's more positive.
For many of the artists in the show, Hussein's been a great influence. So as one of the first artists in the diaspora from West Asia, Hussein brilliantly and so beautifully captured the migrant experience. For 5 Acts of Love, what I would love for the audience to experience is an opportunity to slow down and to reflect on their own histories, through their own relationships, to think about love beyond love within their own worldview, and to get to know the important work that these artists are doing